Today, we're giving you all the details for the reopenings of Sandals South Coast, Sandals Montego Bay, and Sandals Caribbean Cay.
But in case you're new here, we're Andy and Jenna, better known as a couple travelers.
We've spent the last 5 years exploring the world, covering everything across theme parks, cruises, and resorts.
Breaking Sandals Resorts news. It has been a hot minute since we've gotten information about the 3 Jamaica resorts that have been closed following Hurricane Melissa in last year. And we just got all the details for the reimaginings of Sandals South Coast, Sandals Montego Bay, and Sandals Royal Caribbean with an asterisk, and we'll get into that in a second. But in this video, we're gonna go through the new dining concepts, talk about the first impressions of all these new artist renderings we got. But first, before we do that, I wanted to give a little bit of context as to like why these resorts are actually being reimagined in the first place. There was a Hurricane Melissa, that went through Jamaica last year, and it hit those 3 resorts particularly hard. Yeah. The other resorts on the island, fortunately, were able to bounce back a couple of weeks after, kind of getting their stuff together. But Sandals kind of took the opportunity, with these resorts closed, completely start from a clean slate.
And I think what Sandals has been trying to do is, with the launch of like Sandals 2.0, which is like kind of the next generation of Sandals resorts, we have Sandals Dunn's River, Sandals Royal Curacao, and Sandals St. Vincent. People are loving those like more modern Caribbean feels, and those resorts have become very popular, very beloved. And so these kind of needed a little bit of TLC, and they're kind of becoming the next generation of Sandals 2.0, which is very exciting.
It was basically like, if we're closing them for a period of time now, let's just do everything together. And they announced a $200 million investment into these 3 properties. Let's start with the largest resort and the one that we've been to. We've been to 8 Sandals resorts. So let's start with South Coast.
First and foremost, the date for the reopening of Sandals South Coast is November 18th of this year, so 2026. And the unique thing about South Coast is, for the last couple of years, they've been slowly renovating all the buildings already. That resort was already making some good changes, and now they're basically like, let's tackle the rest of the resort. And these new renderings are just like, I don't recognize it from having been there, basically. I mean, like the main pool, you can kind of like tell, they took down the old tower, the like very iconic Sandals first generation tower. And now it's like more modern, and like I really hope that they have these like green and white umbrellas and the different chairs, because I love it. It is so cute. Absolutely loved the huge pool here, so I'm glad that that's there and it's just a little bit elevated, and they added all those cabanas.
The thing with renderings always is like, it's never final. I think its goal is to really give you a good impression as to the direction they're going in. So like, believe me, I would love to see like those different cabanas and lounge chairs too. It looks great. I'm always really interested to see like, what is the actual net product that comes out.
Right, it was like when Curacao like we did like a comparison when we went to Curacao like opening week, and it was like, here's the rendering and here's this, and some things were very close. And some things you were like, oh, they like ran out of time, or they just like changed their mind and went a different direction. So it's very interesting. But like the lobby is drastically different. I love it, especially these like
they're mosaics.
I'm excited for some of the dining changes. I remember saying I miss having a butch's. That was like my #1 complaint about the dining, was like, they need a butch's, and boom, they're doing it.
In this announcement, most of the dining at these 3 resorts is now pretty much is what it is. It could change, obviously. There's still a lot of time between now and the opening. But if we look at the roster now for South Coast, you have Bloom Coffee Shop.
Love it.
Which is a carryover that started in Dunn's River. It's now at St. Vincent's 2.0. Butch's, like you said, is now here, which is great. Jasmine's, which was there originally.
Yeah, that was there. The
Schooners is a Sandals staple.
Neptune's was there.
Sushi on the Sands. Bayside was there. Giuseppe's, Jerk Shack, and then Chicken Dippers was relatively new, but it is not something new with this with this update. So really, the only new things for dining wise that are coming to South Coast is a Sandals favorite, Butch's, and then Bloom, which is quickly becoming a Sandals favorite.
Which means that they are getting rid of Cafe de Paris.
Correct.
Which I'm sad. I like having both.
I know.
I like having both. I like my crepes.
But it's not 2.0. It's not 2.0.
Well, just add some crepes to the Bloom menu then. That's really what I'm missing. Now to wrap up with Sandals South Coast changes, I wanted to give special attention to some of the rooms. So as I mentioned earlier, most of the resort, every single building except for the Silver Sun building had gone through renovation. And now it looks like they're launching this like special room category that has 2 beds, which is very surprising because Sandals, as you know, is a couples resort. It's not just adults only, it's considered couples only. So the price is based on double occupancy and sharing a king-sized bed. So now you have some rooms here, and the category is the Silver Sun Beachfront Club 2 Queen Junior Suite. So they're trying to cater more now towards groups, making it a little bit easier for wedding parties when you travel together. If you have a single or if you have some friends staying in a room together, things like bachelorette parties. They're really trying to expand a little bit, so I think they're kind of testing the waters here. It is not 100% clear if the entire Silver Sun building was renovated, if all of the room categories got a touch up. It's kind of hard to tell, and just looking at this 2 queen room, the bathroom photo looks the same and the balcony photo looks the same, so I'm wondering if they just revamped the actual bedroom portion to add those 2 beds, or if all of the rooms in that building kind of are different now.
And as we get more clarity on which rooms across these resorts are getting updates to them, we'll post here so you guys have the latest and greatest.
And this is a great reason why you should work with a travel agent. We don't have these details yet about like specific rooms at these 3 resorts that are definitely updated and renovated, but that is information that we will eventually have. So it's a good thing if you want to make sure you're booked in a renovated room and not a room that was left as is. Great to work with an agent. It is free to do so. So you'll pay the same price that you see on the Sandals website, but you'll have somebody like me booking your trip who is really familiar with these resorts and can make sure you have everything squared away for your trip. So if you're interested in more information or to start pricing out some options, I'll put my email address in the video description below.
Up next, we have the OG Sandals Resort, as Jenna mentioned, Sandals Montego Bay, which if you're flying into Jamaica, it doesn't get any quicker to get to a resort. It is adjacent to the Montego Bay airport.
You watch the airplanes fly over from the beach.
It's cool. So like we did with South Coast, we'll go through kind of the renderings here. And the first thing that I noticed, and this is one of the first renderings they teased, was these pools they just lifted from Sandals St. Vincent. These beachfront kind of like semicircular infinity pools. That was one of the most coveted areas at St. Vincent.
Always taken by butlers. But this one is even upping it a bit because there's 3 pools technically instead of just 2 at St. Vincent.
And I love the pops of color with the blue and white striped umbrellas. The other things that I'm noticing is they kind of had a main pool area, but with it being a very OG and small Sandals resort, like they're finally giving it the pools the credit that they deserve at a resort like this.
I mean, that's kind of why we haven't personally been to Montego Bay and Royal Caribbean, is because we love good pools, and all the pools at these 2 resorts were just so tiny. So love to see this, and now like I'm excited to go to these resorts.
And so one of the things that we've learned in like the communication that Jenna specifically has gotten from her partners at Sandals through her travel agency is that when they went through these reimaginings, they were thinking about it obviously through 2.0, but you see a lot of references to reimagine like entryways and like your first impressions of the resort, and emphasis on the pool areas too. That was another thing in addition to rooms and dining and kind of that kind of stuff. So when looking at the pools at Montego Bay, you know, it needed some attention because it's an older resort, a smaller resort, and with these new renderings, they're bringing their A game.
I love this lobby.
The lobby, amazing, open air, great views of the ocean. In terms of the dining now at Sandals Montego Bay, the highlight, and it's first on the page, is Buchan.
So excited.
Bucan was introduced at Sandals St. Vincent. We both got to eat here. It was
Loved it.
Fantastic meal. And Sandals in 2.0 is big about gastronomy, which is kind of like the art behind food, basically. This was such a unique meal because you sat family style. It was all local St. Vincent chefs and dishes that they make. It was a really good cultural experience.
Yeah, I ate a lot of things I had never heard of before, but were delicious. Like I would never think to order this off a menu, and I'm glad I got to try that type of food. And then it was really great to see like being sat with other couples as well and chatting, and you know, it was just a lot of fun. So we're starting to see that move to other resorts as well, which is great.
In case there's a quick edit in this video, this is why. And if you've been following us for a while, you know that we're recently new parents. This is Cameron. He's in his first YouTube video. So kind of ironic that we're talking about
Couples
resorts with our child.
You gotta be left at home.
Don't worry. They have beaches too, which is the family resort.
Yes. Can't wait to go to Turks and Caicos.
He was taking a nap while we were recording and he woke up, so he's joining for the fun for the rest of the video.
So Parasol Beach Club.
Parasol Beach Club was introduced at Sandals St. Vincent. It's like the day lunch spot.
And breakfast too.
And breakfast.
Kind of like beachside pool vibes. It's like more elevated lunch food and breakfast food. It's more like fancy brunch.
Yeah, and this is all in our St. Vincent like dining overview, so we won't like belabor the point, but like it's really good food, just wish there was more variety. So that's coming to Montego Bay in addition to Bloom, the great coffee shop.
Yep.
Heart and Soul, which is this casual kind of like
deli, basically.
Deli concept, like
started at Barbados.
Royal Barbados.
Barbados.
So now coming to a bunch of the resorts. Scrimshaw, which is the seafood restaurant introduced to St. Vincent. Tesoro, the Italian restaurant. I'm assuming this will also be the breakfast buffet, lunch buffet as well.
I assume that also was from, they just basically copy and pasted a lot from St. Vincent, which isn't surprising because that's known as like the foodie resort.
And then things that are staying at Montego Bay is you have Butch's, you have the Jerk Shack, which is getting all redone. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's a cool rendering.
Soy Sushi Bar, and then that is it for dining at Montego Bay. In terms of the rooms here, I'll insert some B-roll here of some of the renderings that look like they're the new rooms. We did hear at one point in time that Montego Bay is getting over-the-water bungalows. Adam Stewart said that at some point. They haven't announced anything about that yet, so we'll see if that holds true, but if so, that would be awesome.
Which would be kind of surprising if Royal Caribbean has them and South Coast. So like they're gonna make 3 resorts in Jamaica have. I wonder, because they're always
popular.
They're sold out so far in advance, so it'd kind of be a smart decision.
And now, last but not least, we have
a big one, folks.
We have not just a new resort, but a new name of Sandals Royal Caribbean, now known as Sandals Caribbean Cay, or Cay. The verdict is still out as to what the actual name is gonna be.
Everyone's gonna say Caribbean Cay.
Right.
But it's probably Caribbean Cay.
Yeah.
Just like people say Perfect Day at Coco Cay because it sounds better than Perfect Day at Coco Cay, but it's Key. So.
But in the Caribbean, specifically the Bahamas, those islands are called Keys. So even though it's phonetically, it sounds like K. But regardless, Sandals Royal Caribbean is now Sandals Caribbean Cay/Key. The standout thing here, and again, they did not wait to include this in the teaser concept art.
Wait, but pause, post-it note. We never said the date for Montego Bay, which is also the same date as Caribbean Cay.
Yeah, December 18th, 2026. So 1 month after South Coast opening, Caribbean Cay and Montego Bay will be opening. Now the standout thing from Sandals Caribbean Cay has to be the pool that they basically picked up from Sandals St. Vincent. This was the first of its kind when we first saw the concept art for that resort. This 300-foot long linear pool, and Royal Caribbean was another resort that was kind of the victim of its own size, basically, and not having a lot of real estate to do crazy pool concepts. Now with all of these different designs and other resorts that they have, they found one that works, and it's just this big rectangle.
I know, they took the 2 main pools at St. Vincent. The infinity circular ones went to Montego Bay, and this long one went to Caribbean Cay. So it's good to see because those were very popular, and I love the pops of color.
Love the umbrellas and the chairs. Swim
They
up.
better have all of these types of chairs because they're really going for it in all the renderings.
I know. And continuing to look at the main pool at Caribbean Cay, swim up bar like they have in Sandals.
You just said K instead of key.
I did. I did. It's gonna
See, it's
flip-flop.
gonna do that, yeah.
Nice tile pool, the Sandals logo you can see in it, which is great. Good swim up bar, just refreshed across the resort. I'm noticing a lot more bars on the beach too, which is good because I know a lot of people look for that. And this clearly looks like a new room.
That's beautiful.
I love everything in it is just modern and clean. That bathroom, that's super nice bathroom with the green tiles.
Yes, but a lot more focus on unique bars and social spaces is what Adam Stewart had said in his announcement video today. So a lot more like, instead of just their typical like, oh, here's a bar that's inside this restaurant that's small. Bars are becoming a destination of the resort as opposed to just a necessity.
Yeah, because like you start to see that with at Dunn's River, you had the Dunn's Rum Club, which is kind of a supplement to the English style pub that is still at some of the resorts, including Caribbean Cay, and that'll actually bring us to the dining at this resort. So I think the one interesting thing here, and I guess the one change that I wish they would have evolved more in this reimagining, was keeping a lot of the culinary distinction between Montego Bay and Caribbean Cay.
Yeah,
because
they're so close together. The whole point is that you can so easily hop between the two. So we were surprised to see so many dining concepts repeated across the two resorts.
Yeah, so if we look at the list, you know, they have a parasol now at Caribbean Cay, and this will actually be the dining and bar venue on the private island, which is actually how this resort got its name, because that island is called Caribbean Cay. So it's very similar to Royal Bahamian, where you could take the boat across the water and go to that private island. So that's where Parasol is going to be. You also have Bloom. I'm not mad at Bloom because it's just a coffee shop.
You need coffee.
Suppa is new. I'm kind of taking it as a Bucan kind of restaurant, but it's specific for Jamaican cuisine.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So at least that's a little different.
Different. Yeah. Heart and Soul is a repeat. Jerk Shack, it's a quick service thing. It's your lunch spot. I'm not mad at it. It's Jamaica, so you know that makes sense. Tesoro is a copy. Strand was at Royal Curacao, so that's new here. They kept Bombay Club, which is fantastic. That is an awesome restaurant.
Bombay Club.
And then they kept here the Cricketers Pub.
I still like the Sandals pubs.
Yeah, they're classic.
Yeah, I like them.
They're classic. Would love to see a little bit more variety if you do have those exchange privileges between Caribbean Cay and Montego Bay, but overall, I think the other thing worth noting here, if we go back to the concept art and looking at like the things that they were really honing in on with the reimagining, this entry moment that you now have coming into the resort, looking at the view from the lobby down the pool, is going to be just fantastic.
And I like how, because at the St. Vincent pool, like this one, you couldn't see the beach and the ocean. So like this is like a whole other level to it. So that's great.
That is everything you need to know about this breaking Sandals news, the 3 resorts that'll be opening later this year. As more is announced and this continues to evolve, we'll be sure to keep bringing it to you here. But in the meantime, if you're looking for other Sandals resorts, we have our whole playlist, which is linked in the video description below. We've been to Sandals Royal Curacao, Dunn's River, Grenada, St. Vincent. The South Coast videos on there are moot now, but still go check them out if you want to see how it used to look. And then we have some Barbados videos on there as well. But
we've also been to Antigua, but that was before we vlogged.
Yeah, so a little light on the Antigua content, but all those other resorts you can go check out, tours and reviews and dining room reviews, the whole package. More Sandals 2.0 news to come soon.